They're gonna have to take the Elspeth, though. That's too bad. Yep. Alright, that explains why they, Ooh. Hmm. So, since Avatar's Wrath targets, killing the target counters the spell. Okay, that's very good. Are they going to play Gear Hulk too? Okay. Wow, so they are killing my Elspeth. Oh, was not anticipating that line. Or aborted double seam rip. Welcome in everyone, Sean here. Trying out mono white or close to mono white Caretaker's talent today. It put up 2 recent league finishes a few days ago, maybe like 2 days ago now, recording this on Friday. So I think it was like Wednesday or Tuesday that they put up a league finish. It doesn't matter. But 2 very different builds of it. Took the one that I liked the most and got a few reps with it. Made some changes, notably adding the red cards to try and shore up what I thought was going to be the worst matchup in terms of being able to beat Dimir Excruciator and like the Jeskai control decks. So like the blue control decks are basically they with the mono white build, you can grind with them, but they can just grind better than you, and you don't really have a way to kill them very quickly through wraths, whereas Excruciator and Jeskai Revelation provide great ways to kill us through our derpy card draw. So I felt like that was the worst matchup. Tried to get Song of Totentaz and War Leader's Call to allow us to be a little more proactive. Got some Evangelists in the main deck as well, which weren't in the list that I copied. I'll put both of the lists down in the description. The first one is the one that I kind of liked more and based this deck off of. So this is what I played. I just recorded 4 matches. This is what I played in the matches. I don't think this is what I would recommend moving forward, but I will talk about this before I recommend any changes. So, Caretaker's Talent, I loved this card when Bloomburrow came out. I think before I started like taking this channel seriously, the last time I hit Mythic was when Bloomburrow came out. And it was like Bloomburrow into Foundation Standard, and I was just going really hard on Standard with Caretaker's Talent, and it was a very different metagame back then, but I love drawing some cards, so Caretaker's Talent fit the bill very nicely. But back then I was playing Sanguine Evangelist and Toby, the 3 mana 1/1 that makes a 4/4, and then if you have 4 tokens, they all get flying. And then Season of the Burrow to like get back your key cards or just like make a clock by going wide. But that was a very different metagame. But that deck is very near and dear to my heart. And so when I saw this deck pop up in the league finishes, it's like, oh, is this viable again? Doesn't seem like it can ever beat Excruciator, which is why I added Song and War Leader's Call and Evangelist to kind of like hedge us to being able to pivot to being more aggressive if we need to. But this deck also seems pinched against the green decks because we're kind of all in on Day of Judgment. I played against the Ouroboros Celestia deck and then the Landfall Celestia deck, and it felt like against both of those decks, I just was all in on like hoping to draw Wrath at key points in the game. And like the 3-drops were very slow. Like tapping out on turn 3 against a board that's already full of monodorks does not feel great. Unless you already have the Wrath in your hand, then it feels fine. So I think that the other change I made is I cut a Collector's Vault to add the Ooze, because it makes tokens, which triggers Caretaker's Talent and gives us some main deck graveyard hate. So I like that. The Collector's Vault getting to loot us is good if we don't have talent. But the Ooze getting to add pressure to the board when we don't have talent, I think is also a fine fail-safe. So it is legendary, so I'm only playing one. But yeah, that's the other change I made. So I like that this deck can grind. I like that the mana base is super clean, right? Fountain Port, Petrified Hamlet, very good. Sunken Citadel lets us like make Abandoned Air Temple and Fountain Port more reasonable. I like that it's a good home for a Johnny and Elspeth, right? Lots of speed bumps, wraths, the tokens matter. I love drawing cards with Caretaker's Talent. I like that we have strong spot removal. I don't like that the spot removal, playing Erode and Get Lost early, Get Lost less so, but playing these spells early feels so bad. Like you never want to cast Erode on turn 1. Just ramp your opponent. So I don't know. I might try some other options if I were to pick this deck back up again. But like the whole premise of this deck is like you're trying to play your enablers early. Oh, the version that I copied was playing High Noon, which I cut for the songs, which I also don't think belong in the main deck anymore. But I don't think that this deck wants to play High Noon because you are playing like these engine-y cards that are going to like keep drawing you lots of cards, and you want to be able to double spell. But anyway, so the curve might be wonky because I messed it up by cutting the High Noon for an expensive card. This is really like a 5 or a 6 mana card. So that might be on me. But Emeritus is, so when it comes in, you can make target player make a 1/1 flyer. You can target yourself, and then if they still have more creatures than you, then you still get to prepare it and get the swords. Evangelist makes blockers if you need them, but can also make a really good clock, especially if you have one in play when you're casting Song. A Johnny comes down and kills something if you're getting attacked, or just poops out speed bumps, and then Enduring Innocence can block, gain life, and then come back and still be your card advantage engine. So, a variety of 3-drops to supplement Caretaker's Talent, but we're not doing a whole lot before the curve, relying super hard on Day of Judgment to make up for us, like not playing a lot of things before turn 3. So there are a lot of structural issues with this deck. So I guess one other interaction to talk about before I suggest changes is if you play Elspeth, if you have Elspeth in play on turn 5, play your 6 land on turn 6, then you can cast Song of Totentaz for X equals 5 on turn 6. With Elspeth in play, you make 10 rat tokens with haste, and then you can 0 Elspeth to give your 10 rat tokens each +1/+1 in flying and attack them for 20. So if you need to end games, that's why I put Song of Totentaz in the deck. But I don't think that being able to end games against the blue control decks is the only weakness of this deck. So I think that if you do want to play Song, it belongs in the sideboard. Was not super impressed with Authority of the Councils. There's not a whole lot of haste creatures in the format at the moment. So I'm fine trimming those. And I would recommend playing more Spectacular Pile Up is the next best Wrath. Unfortunately, we can't play Ultima, which is the best Wrath against landfall, because we're playing a bunch of artifacts. Carrot Cake, Collector's Vault, the Ooze. It's a non-bow with Enduring Innocence. It's a non-bow with Sanguine Evangelist. So unfortunately, we can't play Ultima, but Spectacular Pile Up is good. It cycles. Don't want them in the sideboard. Want them in the main deck. It cycles if we don't need it. If we don't need the Wrath. And I think just having more copies of Wrath in the deck. The green decks have proved themselves at the Pro Tour to be at the top of the metagame, the top of the food chain, and we lean extra hard on the Wraths with this deck. So I think just having more, I don't mind playing more of them since 2 of them cycle. So this is how I would recommend it moving forward. Yeah. Don't know how I feel about the removal spells. I don't think there's better options, unfortunately, without warping the mana base. Like, I have played Black-White Caretaker's Talent, literally just splashing for, back then it was Go for the Throat, but now it would be Shoot the Sheriff or Bitter Triumph. That is something to think about if the red splash ends up not being worth it. I did like War Leader's Call. Like, against the control decks, you just need to put a clock on them, and Voice of Victory plus War Leader's Call, or just any of the token generators plus War Leader's Call, does put a clock on them. But yeah, red might not be the best splash. The better early game spot removal might be worth it. So I think that there's a lot of potential in this space. Some very clear shortfalls to the deck, but I think that they're addressable. But very curious what people out there think. Let me know if you have tried this archetype at all in the current metagame, and would love to hear from you. If you find the content valuable at all, whether it's entertaining or insightful, consider supporting the channel. Liking, commenting, subscribing are all great ways to support the channel. Would really appreciate it. And as always, love to hear from people. So enjoy the matches, and I'll catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease. Laters. But at least we get to call Restless Reef here. We are very structurally disadvantaged against Excruciator. I don't think Dimir midrange exists anymore, so this has got to be Excruciator. I mean, this is why we're splashing the red for matchups like this. We'll see if it works out. Game 1, we're just a huge underdog, though. Yep. Just go ahead and bury me in card advantage. That's just the way that this rolls. They might not have a ton of answers to Planeswalkers, so if we can stick this Elspeth, we might be in okay shape. Oh, no, never mind. They have an Excruciator. Okay. They don't have the Cavaro yet. They play any other utility lands. Like, the only other one they might play is Demolition Field, and the only thing I would care about is them. I guess they could kill my Fountain Port if they play Demolition Field. I'm just gonna name Restless Reef again.
I welcome all allies.
Let's see. So if they Cavaro here, yep. So let's do it this way. So they can Emeritus. You might have.
Strike from the heavens.
Selspeth. Four to 9, and then make another 2 tokens at the end of turn. Um, unless they have another Wrath, I think it's better for me to plus here.
Join the fight.
See what's left in my deck. They took a road. Okay, I don't have any more roads left in my deck, apparently. But I'm still dead to an Emeritus. Yeah.
I welcome all allies.
Okay. Yeah, so Emeritus means that, like, Excruciator doesn't need to play Insatiable Avarice anymore, which is really nice. We almost had enough of a clock there. Okay, we want this, we want this. I guess we want Rest in Peace. That's bad. Seam Rip is bad. Enduring Innocence is not great, but it's probably better than Day of Judgment. Yeah. And I cut one more card. It might be Collector's Vault. It might be Emeritus. It might be Enduring Innocence. Honestly, it might be Caretaker's Talent. Okay, Ooze is a very good start. Let's see if they duress it. Here comes a Deceit. Okay, they gotta take our talent. Yep. What's a good draw here? Fountain Port would be a really good draw. That's a pretty good one, too. They gotta have a kill spell for this. But no blue mana means that this Elspeth is probably resolving. Okay. That the end is not answering Elspeth now. I'd feel a lot better if I had a Fountain Port, though. Hey. Do I want to play it now? Yeah, we'll just play it now.
Ready arms. Grace, row.
Alright. They got mana screwed, and they don't have an answer to Elspeth. Yeah, so the War Leader's calls are just specifically for decks like this where we can't beat their endgame and we just need to be the aggressor. And so that plus Voice of Victory is a very good clock, or Song of Toad and Taz. So I don't love this, but we could do a lot worse than this. Like, we have Fountain Port and double Sunken Citadel, so if they answer like our Voice of Victory, Okay, so they are mana screwed. I should have played the plains, because I might want to play the temple. So I had the option there of sacrificing a token to Fountain Port, but I think I just need to be aggressive. I feel like that was not a good deceit. I only had one card that they didn't know. Elspeth. Yeah, playing that Sunbellow Verge was definitely a mistake. Now, like... Okay, they drew land. So if they want to Kavaro a Deceit here, they can. Looks like Kavaro's coming. Which means Voice of Victory is going away. They're gonna have to take the Elspeth. They're gonna have to take the Elspeth, though. That's too bad. Yep. Alright, that explains why they, Ooh. So we're in this game because they were mana screwed. Not sure how it would have played out if they weren't, but they're not threatening a doomsday anytime soon, and it seems like they're struggling to answer this Voice of Victory. And sticking the War Leader's Call is very good. Yeah, they might just be dead. If they don't have any way to interact right here, then they might just be dead. They can't cast anything. Thanks to Voice of Victory. So it seems like they just disconnected, kind of tilted out. Because this is a really good matchup for them. But our sideboard plan worked. Like having the touch of red for War Leader's Call specifically for matchups like this, I think gives the deck some teeth that Mono White wouldn't otherwise have. Like, I think the best thing that Mono White can do against this deck is bring in Torpor Orb, which is awful because it turns off talent from triggering from your creatures entering. But yeah, I think this is going to be 12. 2 from entering, and then these can each be 3/3s. Alright. Well, we had to get a little lucky, but the game plan worked. Sweet. Love to see it. Okay, we can do a lot worse than this. Let's see what they're playing. Are they mulligan? It's a spider from the Spider-Man set. I don't know what art this was. I did not play very much limited in that set, but it's a pretty art. I would guess it was from Bloomburrow, just looking at the small version. Man, last opponent disconnected. This opponent is just in the tank. Maybe they disconnected too. Does not make for great television. My apologies to all the viewership out there. I mean, I'll take free wins on the ladder. Just doesn't really make for great television. Oh, okay, they're here. All right. I should not have played that. What utility lands does blue-white play? It's probably Restless Anchorage.
I am here to bring you home. Your size belies your bravery. Stand by my side, friend. Did you forget my claws? You will harm no one.
You're gonna get to attack a Johnny. I guess I could have played around second Aang by not minusing a Johnny first. Hmm. I guess I was greedy to play my 3-drop on 3 instead of just seam ripping their high noon. Because if they did not have high noon in play, I feel like I would be doing pretty good this game. Second high noon. Okay. Hmm. Pit's Drowner. Okay. Maybe it was wrong to do that because they're still stuck under high noon too. I just need to get their clock off the board. But now I'm just dead to their high noons. Oh, no. No, I'm not.
My blades descend! Cease! This is not the end.
They can... I have to play Carrot Cake next turn. That's gonna put me to 12, but then I just die to Aang. So close. Alright. You got me. Yeah, I guess I should have just gotten the high noon off the board ASAP. Voice of Victory is good against them. Sanguine Evangelist is not super great. Like it lines up good against Flood Caller, but so do all my other cards. The token doesn't block Aven Interrupter. I don't think this is a song matchup. The Ooze is not great. Although it is like a non-spell way for me to use mana if they're high nooning me. But I think I can do better than that. I need to cut cards. Um, let's see. The Planeswalkers are kind of embarrassing against the Flyers. Yeah, let's try this. Hmm. Having the Get Lost as instant speedway to answer High Noon. Maybe this hand is just not proactive enough. I'm supposed to try to be proactive against them. Don't love having to use my Get Lost there, but... Let's see if they have an answer for the talent. We unfortunately could not get a card off of it right away, so... Looks like they're digging. Is that really what they want to draw? Their hand is so full. I guess they're just trying to put a clock on me. Okay. This is weird. Like, can I kill them next turn with Caretaker's talent? They keep mousing over it, so maybe they have an answer for it. I'm at 12. So, since Avatar's Wrath targets, killing the target counters the spell. Can I kill them? I think if I drew a land, I could have killed them. Let's see. Yeah, I would have dealt 5 more damage if I drew a land, because I would have been able to activate this, so it would have put them to 1. Beza is good. It was a mistake to play that. If I draw Fountain Port here, I'm gonna regret it. Exacxies. Okay. Maybe Evangelist is better than Emeritus? Emeritus? Like, I'm not sure what matchup this is meant for. Like, turning on swords is pretty sweet, but, like, you have to be pretty far behind to have swords turned on. Whereas I feel like Sanguine just lets you, like, start beating down. Love this. I don't have an answer to High Noon. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this does have an answer to High Noon. Yeah, let's get rid of the Day of Judgment. So my only answer to High Noon is Seam Rip. So I think I don't want to play the Seam Rip just yet. Let's just get Collector's Vault in play. We can take a little bit of damage here. Like, we might be able to stick Day of Judgment. Okay, yeah. I'm glad I did not use that Seam Rip. To kill the voice there just because it deals more damage. I don't love giving them a bunch of lands, though. That sucks. Whoa. They targeted the Erode and not the Aven Interrupter? What the heck do they have in their hand? Do I want another one? That might be a little too greedy. I feel like I'm gonna be drawing tons of cards. I need to like try and draw interaction. Oh, if they have an answer to this Caretaker's Talent, I'm gonna be in some trouble. Ooh, that's nice. They didn't activate the temple. Notable. Okay. I'm at 8. That was nice. Hmm. Hmm. They have a Flood Pits Drowner. Casting another Aven Interrupter. It's not good. I just dead? No, I can gain 3 life, but then they can just activate that. I think I am just dead. Yeah, I'm dead to the Abandoned Air Temple. Yeah, this deck is really tricky to play against. Yeah, I think they got me. I'm surprised that they didn't do the conductor when I was attacking. Dang, that would have saved me. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, okay, yeah, that gets me. Okay. I don't know if I could have played that differently. It's real tricky to play against that deck. Big Leety. I mean, this hand is pretty slow, but it can probably grind, so let's see. Let's see what we can do. They mulliganed. Oh, they are a green deck, though, and we don't have a Wrath. So we might be in some trouble. Do they have the nuts? We can still draw a Day of Judgment. This is 5, 9, 13 damage we're gonna take. That's not a Day of Judgment. Okay. So we want this. This could be good. What's not good? Sanguine Evangelist is not good. Like, we are not trying to be proactive against them. Is Authority good? The life gain might be nice. Beza's probably good. So, yeah, let's do this. Keep it in the ooze so we can catch their earthbent lands. They probably side in Nature's Rhythm against us, so maybe I should have brought in if this was a 2-lander, this would be a snap keep. But we do have Day, and we have a way to bridge to Day. We'll try it. That's too bad. They didn't even play a 1-drop for me to Seam Rip. How rude. Yeah, I really needed a land there. I mean, maybe I was supposed to erode the cub at the end of turn. Like, it cuts them off with 1 more mana. But I really need to bridge to my Wrath, which I'm not going to be able to do. Yeah, I probably should have mulliganed this. Being on the play with a 1-lander. I mean, like, if I drew my 2nd land on turn 2, then I think I'm sitting very pretty. But not having... Hooray! Now I can erode my token. They can seam rip my seam rip. That's somewhat frustrating. Okay, do I play Elspeth? Probably. Yeah. Like, she's gonna take 2 from the Pixie, but she is getting plussed.
More heroes for the cause.
Don't think they can kill her. Like, Gearhulk can go and get 2 removal spells to get my tokens. Okay, that's very good. Are they gonna play Gearhulk too? Okay. Wow, so they are killing my Elspeth. Oh, was not anticipating that line. Or aborted double seam rip. Or aborted double seam rip. Um... Lucky. They did not play the Paw Patch first. Okay, they're out of cards. Let's just draw Wrath. Ugh. We were so close. I mean, we can still draw Wrath. I don't think they can kill us this turn. It's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can put us to 1. But we can still chump block. And we get 2 3 looks for a Wrath. There's 3 left in the deck. So it's reasonable. That's not a Wrath. Is there any way that I can play Caretaker's talent? No, I'm gonna be 1 mana off. That's not a Wrath either. That's not a Wrath either. Good fight. Missing our second land drop and all. And we missed a land drop on turn 2 and on turn 4. So we played our second land on turn 3 and then our third land on turn 5. Like we were in that game until they ripped that Gear Hulk off the top. But I mean, they had lots of good draws in their deck, so that's fair. And I kept the really bad hand, so. But that was terribly unsatisfying. Let's do Rice-A-Roni. Might get punished for keeping a slow hand again. Yep, looks like we are. I don't even play anymore. This deck is way too fair. Like we're just all in on Wrath to like catch us up against these like nutty decks. And it's gonna give trample. Oh, you got me. What's good against them? We want this. Trample is just too good against me. I guess this is the matchup where like these green decks are where Emeritus of Truth is better than Evangelist. I will say that. Like they play Chocobo, they play Elf, they play Cub. Like they play Chocobo, they play Elf, they play Cub as targets for Seam Rip. Is that enough? Probably. Can't keep that. This is not great either. That's gonna be good enough to stabilize. Ooh. All like spectacular pile up in the board or something. Oh, it's a Johnny. A Johnny's probably better than Enduring Innocence on the draw. Yeah, I think Song of Toten Taz might not be the card we want in the main deck. The list I copied as the inspiration for this had High Noon in the main deck, which I really don't like. That's a mulligan, fortunately. Hmm. Very, very powerful. Is this an Earthbender's Ascension? Okay. Jeez. Let's see. Johnny can come down and kill the Chocobo. If I don't kill anything, I'm going to take 9. Dear Lord. My only out here is trying to eventually bridge to a Wrath. So if like a Johnny, if I play a Johnny and then kill their Chocobo, then I'm only taking 6 because 1 goes to a Johnny. Then I'm at 11. I don't love any of these outcomes.
I will be your guide and guard.
I think.
Stay down.
What did I side out for a Johnny? It was the Enduring Innocence. If that was an Enduring Innocence, I think I would have much preferred to play that. Give me a land. That's not a land. Yikes. 6, 7, 8. Six, 7, 8, 9. I can block this and this and still take 5. So I just have to Carrot Cake here. But then I just die to Bossing Say, even if I hit my Wrath. Okay, good game. Ugh. Yeah, this deck might just be cope in this metagame. That's too bad. I like playing decks like this, but when you're playing against such powerful cards and you're trying to like play my 3 mana card draw engine on turn 3, it doesn't seem to line up very well. Maybe the original pilot was onto something with High Noon, like keeps the Badger Mole Cub turns from exploding. But if you're on the draw, then they already have their Badger Mole Cub nut draw on turn 2. So if only the white removal wasn't so punishing. Like, yeah. Like all the 3-drops are all like good in their own right, but there were a bunch of games that we lost where we just like didn't do anything until turn 3. Like Collector's Vault doesn't impact the board, Carrot Cake is minimally impacting the board. So then we're just like all in on a Day of Judgment to catch us back up. So like Song of Toten Taz should definitely not be in the main deck. I think like maybe putting 1 in the sideboard or something might be fine, but the sideboard does seem a little tight at the moment. I don't know what Authority of the Consuls comes in against. It's not good against the green decks. I don't know if it's good against the Izzet decks either. What did I cited it in against Boros Dragons when I was trying this out before recording. But other than that, like, it doesn't seem like Authority of the Consuls is like targeting anything in the metagame, so that could probably get cut. Like the red splash. Did it punish me? I had to play like a tap Sundown Pass on a turn when I would have played a Seam Rip in one of the games just now against Mono Green. So it's not like a free splash. Sundown Pass could also just be Sacred Foundry, but the life matters as well. But like, we have these powerful 3-drops. Don't have a ton of options in terms of things to play on turn 2. The other version of this deck that put up a league finish in the same day as the version that I based this deck off of was playing Maze Mind Tome instead of Collector's Vault. I don't know how much I love that. But maybe, at least against the green decks, I think that we just need to play more Wraths. Spectacular Pile Up is a non-bow with Enduring Innocence, right? Pretty sure that's how it's worded. Its creatures lose all abilities. Or is it? No, they just lose Indestructible, so it is not a non-bow with Enduring Innocence. It's funny. I went 1-3 tonight, and I beat the impossible matchup, and then lost to the green decks twice. The one Gear Hulk deck and one Landfall deck. Yeah. I would really love for this deck to be good, but I don't think that this is its time to shine. I'm glad I tried it, though. Let me know if you're playing this deck and having success with it. Let me know. I would love to figure out a way for this to be good. But Erode, like, I hate playing Erode early. I hate, like, playing Get Lost early doesn't feel as bad as playing Erode early, but it still doesn't feel great. So like the early removal is not great, and then like your 3-drops don't really catch you up. They're meant to kind of like get you ahead on cards or on the board, and then you're just all in on Day of Judgment to catch you up. So if I were to play this again, I would probably do something like this. Pile up. I don't want them in the sideboard. I want them in the main deck. Something like this. Still not like something here though. Maybe Evangelist is not necessary. I don't think I played it in the 4 matches that I just played. Emeritus, I don't know. Like, Emeritus is better against the green decks. Evangelist is better against the controlling decks. But I feel like, and we can't play Voice of Victory in the main deck because we're like leaning super hard on the Wraths. So, but yeah, maybe something closer to this. Okay. Well, yeah, let me know what you think. Would love to hear from somebody who's had success with the archetype. And thanks for checking out the content. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease.